Hey everybody, happy Monday. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is going to be a look ahead to the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Chicago Bulls. The Sixers are 14-14, and the Bulls are 8-20, but the key to this is in the last five, the Bulls are 5-5, and our Sixers are only 3-7. So the Bulls have been heating up since Mirotic came back, who is also questionable for tonight's game. But if he's able to go, they have actually heftily been heating up since he has been in the game. In 3 games, he has averaged 20 points, 6.2 rebounds, and now he has a little bit of a cockiness attitude to himself. Because if we look at the preview for today's game, since Mirotic made his debut, he predicted a Bulls victory. Each time the Bulls have held up to their end of the bargain and won, winning 5 straight, that they want to continue against the Sixers to make it 6 straight. The Bulls are only 8-20, but they own the longest active winning streak currently, and they came back and made themselves relevant, at least in the last 10 games. He scored 22 points in the Bulls' 115-109 win over the Bucks, who are not an easy team to beat. Obviously, we all know they have the Greek Freak among many other good players on that team. And then Markkanen is also a game-time decision tonight. And after the Friday victory, Markkanen's a game-time decision, not Mirotic. I got that confused, my fault. But Mirotic was asked for a forecast on the game, and he said, 6-0, according to the Chicago Tribune. After Monday, we will be 6-0. So he is already calling out our Sixers and saying that they are going to win this game. So let's make sure we shut him down and win this game, and don't let them go 6-0 since he has been back, and make them be 5-1, and make us get back on a roll in our next 10 games. Because you can look at it by saying, oh, well, our last 10 were bad, that's awful. Okay, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But look at our other team in Philly, the Flyers. They lost 10 straight, now they won 6 straight, so things can change so quickly. Let's just move on and look at the next 10 and say, okay, let's get back to our winning ways and let's get going. Now, the big thing with tonight's game is Joel is out for rest after playing 50 minutes in the 3 overtimes combined with that in the 60 minutes of regular play. They really used him last game, and they have a home game tomorrow, so they're resting Joel Embiid in the back-to-back, who's still not approved for back-to-back, and they hope, and we all hope to God, that finally happened in January. So, they keep saying the biggest thing is the Bulls keep saying the biggest thing is they could just keep getting better and better, so let's, through our struggles, make them definitely lose this game and go into Chicago and win the game. We are considered 1.5-point favorites, which is not a big favorite by any stretch of the imagination. So this is probably going to be a close game, and even closer. Chris Dunn, their young guard, is having a very solid season. He averages 12.9 points for 4.8 rebounds and 5.2 assists. Got to stop him so he doesn't use his playmaking ability all over us and get some points on us as well, because we have not necessarily lately, not just our 3-point defense, but our defense as a whole, until we got to the end of the game against the Thunder and the OTs, did not look great, and our 3-point defense still looked piss poor when we needed it to be the best in games. So we really need to step up there. Another thing is, we almost prevailed against the Thunder because we had a fantastic comeback that I give our boys credit for. Give credit where credit is due. Great comeback, great job getting rebounds. If you looked at that game, we had a lot of offensive rebound. We had a lot of defensive rebounds, which usually we have more offensive rebounds. So what hurt us early on is we had many defensive rebounds, but not as many offensive. We really need to step up and have rebounds more balanced on each end. Otherwise, the Bulls will take advantage of that and really guard the 3-point line, because the Chicago Bulls do got some guys that can definitely hurt you at the 3-point line. Bulls LaVine, Zach LaVine is still out. Quincy Pondexter is obviously a guy that can hit some threes, but he's irrelevant at this point of his career. just because he is the Villanova product. Arch doesn't play a lot of minutes, but obviously against the Sixers, maybe as a nice gesture, the Bulls will give him a few minutes just to play his former team. Chris Dunn himself actually is 36.4% from the three, so you got to watch him. You can't leave him wide open or he'll take advantage of you, and he's 44% from the entire four. Drew Holiday's brother Justin is 34 from the three, but he killed us in past games in his career. He averages 13.6 points. Got to watch him. Denzel Valentine is a decent three-point shooter at 39%, who averages 9. Most of those off of threes. Got to watch him, being we don't guard the three well whatsoever. Mark Cannon, again, who's a game-time decision, is 35 or 34% himself from the three, who averages 8.1 rebounds. You got to out-rebound him for sure, and 14.7 points. And obviously, Mirotic, who's back, averages 6.2 boards, has a 50% three-point shooting in his 3 games back, averages 20 points, and is 54% from the floor, significantly better than 45. Bobby Portis averages 12.9 points, 1.8 assists, 6.6 rebounds, and has 39% from the three, so he's worked on that a lot, and has 49 from the floor. And then they also have Robin Lopez, who grabbed 6 boards of his own and 13.5 rebounds. So what'll be big in this game, again, like I sound like a broken record, but what's been big for the Sixers, which has been killing them for the most part, is 1 turnover. They still had 20 against the Thunder, and this one, and I'm not trying to be critical, we came back, we had a great game, we did great coming back at the end, but we probably would have had a much better game if we didn't have as many turnovers early and were able to do better in the rebounding category. And were able to get going earlier in the game. Granted, the Thunder have all these good people on the team, so it was a testament to building towards the future that the team could come back and battle as they did. And I got to give credit where credit is due and say great job, Sixers, on being able to come back at the end of that game and do fantastic in the overtime and just lose off of a few miscues where it was frustrating, but it was also thinking positive towards the future where we were able to come back like that. Obviously, for us, we got Big Ben Simmons, who averages 17.4, 7.8 assists, and 8.9 rebounds. With himself from the floor, look to him for a good amount of points this game. And then one of our big keys is we really need Covington, who came back last game and struggled mightily, and I mean mightily in his first game back, needs to obviously come back and have a solid game. Also, on the Sixers injury note, Trevor Booker is out next 2 games at least, and he's been one of our better rebounders since coming on our team, so that's going to hurt us on the boards. And also, we'll give Amir Johnson more minutes, who only averages 4.2 and 5 rebounds this year. Well, we got him for his athletic ability and rebounding ability, and he's been playing poor, to say the least, this entire season. So I look for him to really need to step up in these 2 games, and hopefully it motivates him to step up, because he has been losing minutes since Booker's came on the team, little by little, not enough, but little by little, so maybe it'll finally get him to step up. Richaun Holmes is probably going to still keep playing like a beast. He's been great lately, been grabbing boards and getting putbacks. He's been very good for us, especially when Joel is not able to go. But I think, honestly, having Joel not playing this game and resting is going to hurt us, obviously, a little bit. But honestly, I think not having, since his acquisition, Booker's point total went up 0.4. His rebounds went up 0.5. So or 0.3, excuse me. So it's little by little, but he's been rebounding a lot better with the Sixers and playing overall a better game. The game that we got Amir Johnson for, actually, to be the athletic forward/center, where Booker's actually doing that better than Amir Johnson tenfold since he's been on the team. Dario Saric, I look to step up tonight, who averages 11.9 with 6.9 rebounds, 33 from the 3, and 41.8% from the floor. And then obviously J.J. Redick, who's been great of late, should just keep on rolling. His three-point percentage keeps going up. He averages 17 points with 39% about from the 3 when you round it up, and a 44% field goal percentage. So look for him to keep having a great game. Look for Simmons to spread the ball around. Look for Holmes to be great at rebounding again. And look for the Sixers to really play tighter defense is what I'm looking for and guard the three-point line well. Otherwise, this game is going to be very complicated, and I don't think we win, to be honest, if we cannot guard the three-point line well and create many turnovers, because Chris Dunn, again, is another point guard that likes trying to create turnovers. Not saying he's in the same class by any stretch, but like Russell Westbrook, in that comparison, they both try to create turnovers and try to create plays based off of your mistakes. That's how they've been partially doing their winning streak, and he's been playing much better during the winning streak, even though he's been good all season. So look for them to try to create turnovers, which means we got to play more disciplined and really play well today. Guard the three-point line well. Guard the paint better, which was a struggle a little bit. Well, Joel Embiid's back was obviously bothering him, so I'll give him a pass for a couple plays, but he did great at guarding the paint, where other guys like Johnson did not, and he doesn't have an excuse. So we need guys to step up, guard the paint better, and especially guard the three-point line better. Otherwise, this game is not going to go very well, and then not create as many turnovers. I picked our Sixers to win if we can do all the things I highlighted, like guard the three-point line well and limit our turnovers, because we can come out and Holmes can have a good game, Redick can have a good game. I think Rocco will bounce back and not have two bad offensive games straight. Look for those people to have a game. And then Simmons, I didn't mention because he always does something. When he doesn't score, he gets enough assists and rebounds. So, look for this team to step up and rebound from that tough loss last game. And I think our next 10 are going to be significantly better than our last 10, which were 3-7. And as long as we do all the keys I said, we should beat this Bulls team and give them their first loss in their past 5 games and put them 5-1 and on the 1-game loss side rather than the 6-game win side. Let's go Sixers. Let's get this done. Let's step up tonight, play a more disciplined game, play a cleaner game, and not have three-point shooting be like the Golden State Warriors on us no matter what team we play. Come on, Sixers, let's go. This has been Sports Fanatic News. A look ahead to the Sixers in Chicago. It's at 8 o'clock. Peace out, everybody.